This is Beyond a Reasonable Doubt with your hosts, Mark Garrigus and Gary Smith.
Welcome, Gary. It sounds like you've had quite a weekend.
Yes, I have. I've been enjoying the lovely V Hotel in Palm Springs, and I dined this morning at Gigi's and had some fun out at Elixir the other day, and we had a lovely LA Mag pool party.
I love it. By the way, is it hot?
It is excruciatingly hot. I believe it was 106 during the pool party yesterday, and it was just painful as all hell if you weren't sitting in the pool.
Well, that's the reason you have a pool party. You sit in the pool, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody as I was walking who was at the beach, and they were rubbing it in as to being at the beach as opposed to where I was walking. So I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I'm sure, a good weekend to be at the beach. But we had nearly 100 people who braved the heat and came out to party with us in Palm Springs. So thank you to all those who came out and enjoyed. It was a fun party, and I think successful for the magazine.
I love it. I love it. So, we've got some interesting things on tap for today. I think the one that's kind of captivating, is the Karen Reed trial that Alan Jackson is defending in Boston. And the prosecution rested on Friday. We're doing this on Sunday, obviously, at the altar of Bard. And we've got some clips, I think. Do you not?
I do. I have one here. Let's check this out.
Karen Reed murder trial now, and the defense has begun its case. And new here at 6 o'clock, WBZ's Christina Rex explains when the jury could begin deliberating the case. And we do want to warn you, some of the images we are about to show are graphic.
Commonwealth rests.
After 8 weeks of testimony and 68 witnesses, the state rested its case against Karen Reed. Its final witness, the medical examiner, left the manner of John O'Keefe's death unsolved for the jury, not definitively from a car strike.
Would you agree that his injuries to his face are consistent with having been punched?
That is a possibility.
Dragged on the ground?
It's possible.
Being struck with a large object such as a baseball bat or a barbell?
It's possible.
Now the defense takes center stage, first with a plow driver who says...
Let's not let that pass without comment. That is the medical examiner talking about the manner of death. And she's conceding that it is possible that that it was consistent with either a barbell or a bat or some other instrumentality other than a car. And I don't know if we've got it here, but I think one of the hypotheticals that was given, is this consistent with a car striking him at 24 miles per hour? And then also the beating around the face.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just watch the end of it here and see. I'm not sure if it's in here. You and I kicked around a few different clips this morning.
Bat or a barbell?
It's possible.
Now the defense takes center stage, first with a plow driver who says he plowed Fairview Road multiple times between 2 and 6 a.m. that night.
Did you see anything on the lawn?
Nothing.
See a body?
No.
No body, but he did see a Ford Edge parked out front that arrived between 2:45 and 3 a.m., he says, which the defense believes shows activity at the house when everyone said they were asleep.
John O'Keefe was killed inside that house and drug outside, period.
Nothing but the truth to help you God.
I do.
To further that theory, Dr. Marie Russell, a retired California doctor who's done research on animal attacks. She reviewed pictures of O'Keefe's arm injuries.
I believe that these injuries were sustained by an animal, possibly a large dog.
Defense attorneys tell WBZ they still plan to call 2 accident reconstruction experts and a different medical examiner, but they think they could rest their case on Monday.
I think we're going to be done on Monday. Right. Yeah, I think we're going to be done on Monday. I think we'll probably...
Does that mean closing Tuesday?
I think closing on Tuesday, and then we'll charge the jurors, and they'll have it by maybe end of the day Tuesday.
And court is expected to be 5 full days next week, though if defense attorneys wrap up when they say they're going to, several of those days could be for jury deliberations. In Dedham, Christina Rex, WBZ News.
But there's some very interesting things here. If the accident reconstructionists support, and I imagine they will, the idea that that this was not caused or that the injuries are not consistent with an automobile strike at 24 miles per hour or whatever the prosecution theory is. And you've got the prosecution's medical examiner saying also that it's consistent with some other instrumentality. To my mind, that's the definition of reasonable doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've definitely covered the fact that the jurors have been a little horrified by some of the testimony that has come out. For those who may not have listened to last week or past weeks, this is the same case where the lead investigator for the prosecution was caught with some pretty salacious text messages referring to the defendant.
Yeah, the idea here, the defense is that she was framed, and I'll tell you, they've got a whale of a case in support of that. I mean, it's not, sometimes you hear that and you're doubtful or you're skeptical. This does not appear to be the case.
If you're the defense attorney and you're hearing that kind of a testimony out of the medical examiner that's leaving it very, very open to a wide variety of different scenarios, I would think that would be something that you would be very positive about and very fond of and hopeful, if nothing else.
Well, and by the way, that's one of the last prosecution witnesses on a Friday before the jury goes out. That's what they're left with. You come on, you surgically strike with the two expert witnesses or accident reconstructionists on Monday. You do your closing arguments and let them have it by Tuesday. That's what they're going to remember. I mean, they're going to remember, look, the accident reconstructionist ties all of this together in one way or another. Then you go in with the closing argument and also point out all of the problems with the people's case. To my mind, they've got it's a whale of a defense.
Yeah, you're analyzing this as a defense attorney, and I think that's a very valuable analysis. As a layperson, I'm going to bet that they also remember that the lead investigator was referring to the defendant's leaky balloon knot. So, there's going to be quite a bit that they go into jury deliberations with in their mind, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Another thing that I saw that I thought was interesting was we've done a couple of times, I think, or at least one other than I can remember, was a clip from Bill Maher. Did you have that teed up with the former governor of New York and the Adam Kinzinger is sitting next to him. It's from yesterday, and it's Andrew Cuomo commenting on the Trump case, which I have been a constant critic of.
Yes, absolutely. I believe this was from this most recent Friday's episode. So let's check this clip out.
Case in New York, frankly, should have never been brought. And if his name was not Donald Trump and if he wasn't running for president, I'm the former AG in New York, I'm telling you that case would have never been brought. And that's what is offensive to people. And it should be, because if there's anything left, it's belief in the justice system.
Some bold statement. As Andrew says, he's the former AG of the state and has a rather pointed opinion there.
Yeah, that's definitely not a take you probably would have heard out of Andrew Cuomo in months or years past, but I appreciate the intellectual honesty that he seems to be bringing it at this time.
Yeah. By the way, as I mentioned before, for those of you who said we didn't comment last week on my client in another matter, Hunter Biden.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that too.
Yeah. So let me remind you of one thing, though. We did cover quite a bit, and I will tell you the U.S. Supreme Court came out with a case this week that I think throws that conviction into doubt. Talk about timing. They came out with a case called Ramili, which I believe was an 8-1 decision, which has said that in domestic violence cases where you have adjudicated, and this was a person who was adjudicated to have been an offender of domestic violence statute, that they upheld that restriction. But the language itself, I think, casts doubt into the validity of a status crime that Hunter was convicted of. And so it'll be very interesting to see whether or not his criminal defense lawyers bring that before the court, because at this point, you now have that issue percolating there with an 8-1 Supreme Court decision. You've also got Eileen Cannon holding hearings on the special counsel appointment and the constitutionality there, which my brethren on the left are apoplectic about. But I think I've been consistent all along, saying that I think these special counsel appointments in the prosecutions should never be allowed. I think I said that under the previous statute, which was the independent counsel statute. This successor, if you will, statute is equally infirm constitutionally, in my opinion.
I agree. And I will say, for all the people that were lighting up our social media talking about the fact that we didn't cover that, that was not deliberate. Mark and I, set the show up the way we set it up. And when you have a video of a lead investigator talking salaciously about the defendant and it's just good TV, that tends to be what we lean into. So it's not like there was ever any discussion about not covering that. We just only have how much time we have. So glad that you brought it up this week.
But we do have, if I'm not mistaken, don't we have a winner, a merch winner? And look at you sigh when I ask that question.
Yeah. Yes, I think we do. Let's see. I'm not sure that I have it handy, but we did send out, for those who have been waiting. There are a few people who are waiting for their merch, and we did a new dump early this week, so that should be arriving now if it hasn't arrived yet. I don't have the one you're referring to handy, but yeah, there was definitely a merch winner.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody can guess which of the comments it was, and by Gary's expression or his what would you call it? Your gird that's going on.
My demeanor, I suppose, would be a good way to describe it. It's now our comments are a fun place.
Okay, now my favorite. We'll end on this is this young lady who has gone viral. But a lot of people
I would say that puts it mildly.
Mildly, right? I mean,
this young lady has taken over the internet, and I saw some memes that said that she single-handedly displaced the Pride Month because she has become the only thing on the internet that anyone is talking about this month.
I mean, for those who don't understand or want context or haven't seen it, she's being interviewed. I don't know the place where she's being interviewed, but she's being interviewed, and I think the interview speaks for itself. So if you haven't seen it, or if you have, because I've watched it multiple times, let's take a look.
How many is on your roster?
There's only one I want. I love you, Pookie, forever.
How do you get over a breakup?
The only way to get over one is get under another. Get the cobwebs off this thing.
This motherfucker don't miss. What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk. Spit on that thing. You get me?
And that's
this girl. I don't know. She looks like she may be a fun lover. I'm going to just speculate that maybe there's a little influence somewhere there, but she has, like you said, literally broke the internet.
From the small sample size I've had of asking people about this clip, every man I know has seen this and is having it delivered to him on his social media ad nauseum. Many women I have talked to maybe were not as quickly aware, but have.
Yes, it's a very this goes to the. I know that in some quarters I can't make this statement, but I'm going to, that there are genders, because it seems to be very gender specific as to who knew it first. And most of the females that I know, or those who identify as female, have seen it almost derivatively.
Correct. Like the algorithms sure seem to be delivering it sooner to one gender than another, or at least that's my anecdotal analysis from speaking to a few friends and family.
Yeah, but what hasn't surfaced yet is who is Pookie. I'm very curious.
I don't know. I would assume that is someone in her life, but I don't know who Pookie is.
I think that's the next. I would love for free merch for the first person who alerts us to who Pookie, the real Pookie, is.
Great. Look forward to sending that merch out. Fantastic.
Thanks, Gary. Have fun. Stay out of the, don't get sunstroke. Put on your sunscreen. Thank
you very much.
And I'll see you this week.
All right, Mike. See you then. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Reasonable Doubt. Subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/Reasonable Doubt Podcast.